All right, that takes care of our other matters. I had fit in a couple of sentences for Mr. Gibson, and I see Mr. Bailey Cunningham is here. Let's address his case. Had some same issues with Mr. Gibson. He's also very busy. We had trouble finding some dates that would fit into his calendar. I think he was set to be here with Judge Pattison this afternoon, so we set these two sentences for today. This is People versus Bailey, Anthony Cunningham. File number is 26167 SM. Is a domestic violence charge. Mr. Paul Gibson is here. Also, Abigail Stoll is here from the prosecutor's office. Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know here?
The defendant, he indicated to me that he went to Pivotal, and the company he was working for, I guess that job is going away, so he is looking for new work. But I believe that the defendant understands that he made a mistake and that, this is not, in a sense, the type of conduct that is permitted, and that this was a mistake and he needs to learn from this. So what I would ask the court to consider potentially fines and cost, or a short probation term, or community service. Thank you. Well, I guess with the deferral, if it's deferral, he'll have to get the probation, obviously, so.
Yes. Ms. Stoll, what's the people's position here?
Well, Your Honor, the defendant doesn't really have much criminal history. He doesn't have any criminal convictions. We unfortunately didn't hear back from the victims. We don't have any victim input. I guess I would recommend 12 months of probation.
Well, there was an agreement for deferral. I know Mr. Cunningham. He's got a little bit of a criminal record. He got involved in some dumb thing, throwing stuff in the street or something about 10 years ago when he was a kid, but I don't think you've had much since then. Now, you had some sort of an episode and you sought some mental health treatment. Your lawyer touched on it, but I want to hear more about it.
So it was about 2 days after everything happened. The last year, 2 years, I've been a real suicidal. I just haven't really been happy with my life and everything like that. And I just never reached out to anybody on getting the help that I truly needed. And 2 days after that, I almost made a permanent decision for a temporary problem, and it resulted into me being court ordered to go to Cedar Creek Hospital, which is honestly probably the best thing that's happened to me in a very long time. I went there, I learned a lot about myself and why my anger is the way it is and the way I respond to certain things. I learned a lot about my character and who I truly am and why I act the way I do in certain situations. That place has really opened my eyes. Like I told them when I left there, so it's been a very long time since I've been able to look in a mirror and actually know who I am, actually know who Bailey Cunningham is. I've always looked in the mirror and hated what I seen, never liked the person I was, and I'm able to understand myself, which has helped me a lot in growing as a person and getting past the things that I'm doing and to prevent myself from falling back into old ways and the way that I was grown as a kid. So that was probably the best experience I had. I was there for over a week.
Now, you told me some of that at the time of the plea. You're not a kid anymore. You've grown up since that dumb stuff in the street years ago. And you seem to have some insight into your own self, which is often the first step. There is a PPO in effect also. which I believe you've been in compliance with.
Yeah.
They didn't get any victim input, but you don't have any previous assaultive crimes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you are eligible for the deferral. And I think that's gonna be beneficial for part of your healing and the complainants as well. I'm gonna do the deferral. I can only do it if the prosecutor consents, and they did. I think you turned yourself in, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I came in to pay a speeding ticket.
And you found this, so you
Yeah.
never actually went to jail.
No, no.
All right,
They snuck me in at the end of one of your,
yes. Um. All right. I had hoped to hear from Hannah.
she said she didn't get anything. She was, because I've talked to her, because I asked her, I was like, did you find anything in?
Well, you're not supposed to be talking to her. You got a
On
PPO.
the PPO, I can have communication now.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, he took the where we're allowed to be around each other and have communication, but kept the PPO in effect on if I were to threaten her or any behavior like that, that she is more secured that something's gonna happen about it. So he took all that off, so we're allowed to have contact with each other, be around each other and talk.
which judge was that?
The one next door.
All right, Judge Pattison, the handsome one. All right, Abby, I think this is worth a shot. All right, 12-month probation, 10 days jail credit 0, 10 days deferred. Generally, in a deferral, there's no additional jail time ordered. I'm gonna make the fine 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, you need to pay for the class. We're gonna do the anger management. Let's add that up. Do you guys have Mr. McDaniel in the back?
Yes.
All right. That's $755 in 1 year. If you can do this probation in less than a year, you can be discharged as early as 6 months. Some of it is the availability of the next cycle of the classes. No assaultive or threatening behavior, no drugs and no alcohol, including marijuana, test as directed. And you're to complete the anger management class. Comply with all terms of the PPO. Mr. Cunningham, you've grown up since I was first dealing with you. I think this stint in inpatient has helped. Are you on medication?
Yes.
All right, you're also going to sign a release from Pivotal. Take all medication as prescribed. Where were you working?
I was working at Dutchman 815. The plant closes this week. I guess Keystone is now closing all their Dutchman plants, but I started a job Monday at Bennington Marina and Takeaway.
Well, good. What were you making at Dutchman?
It was about $800 a week.
No, what kind of product were you making?
Oh, RVs.
Which type?
Zingers. Man, there's a couple of different ones over there. Can't remember all of them.
So now you're making pontoon boats.
Yeah, I used to work there about 7 years ago, but my Hannah was pushing me to get in RVs and try the RV life, and ever since I got in there, it's just been fluctuating, jumping from job to
Yeah,
job.
well, it's great when you're making rate and the
Yeah.
money's coming in, and then when it slows down,
It's not there, so that's what I told her, I'm going back to boats or something like that.
well, Bennington makes nice boats.
Oh, yeah, they do. It's a good company to work for. They have good benefits over there as well.
All right, well, you got a lot going for you. You got a new job, you've got some insight into your shortcomings. I don't think alcohol was the big issue here. I think it's just depression. So we're gonna have you complete this class and you're gonna get your life back on track. I wish I'd heard from Hannah. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't think she objects to this. All right, you take this form out to the counter. All right, could we have Mr. Good afternoon, Mr. McDaniel.
Mr. Middleton?
It's cold back there.
Yes,
Sorry
it's
it
chilly
took-
back there.
it Took us so long, but thought I had my ducks in a row. I would have done your case first, but I forgot you were in the lockup.
No hurry, I guess.
All right, this is file number 251910, People versus Aaron McDaniel. Mr. McDaniel is here with his lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. Charged with a domestic violence second offense alleging that it occurred on August 27th of 2025. He didn't get arrested until sometime later than that. He's been in custody now for 34 days. He entered a plea to domestic violence first offense, and the matter was set for sentencing here today. I had asked for police report, victim input. I don't believe I got any victim input. But Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
The defendant spent his 40th birthday in jail last week. I think that was kind of sent a message to him that he wants to put this in his past and focus on the positive things going forward. The defendant was homeless at the time that this occurred. He's currently unemployed but looking for work, so he needs to make some changes and he needs to find a stable residence, find work.
I found work.
Okay, good. So it sounds like he says he's found work, so I would ask the court to consider credit for time served. Thank you.
My job would be with Precision Wire. My family spoke with Mark Willie White. He said, when this gets resolved, he said, come see him, and I want to leave Sturgis and just move on with my life, Your Honor, for real.
Where's your family?
I got only just my mother. She's in Sturgis. I got my dad. We're not very close. He's in Constantine.
Now, you and Miss Huser had on again, off again.
Yes,
Living a homeless lifestyle is not very healthy.
no, it is not.
Or healthy for relationships or
I have
mental
not
health.
seen her since August.
All right, so this happened in August. You
Yes.
didn't get arrested until
I believe November, December.
December 8th. Then you didn't appear.
Yes, sir.
Um,
I had a lot of medical issues going on, kind of lost track of time. being
Then you got
homeless.
arrested again on February 6th, and that's when I set a higher bond.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you've got 34 days. You had some days at the front end.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Whatever's given, Your Honor, I've been clean, I just want to move on with my life. I need to figure something out here. I'm 40 years old and it's time to step up and kind of start getting my things in order here a little bit.
Well, this was more than just a tap on the head.
Yeah.
She fell and she hit her head and she was taken to the hospital. And Ms. Stoll, do you have any further information regarding restitution or the complainant's attitude or anything?
Well, we haven't heard back from the victim, Your Honor. Our office tried to contact her. But the defendant does have some criminal history. This isn't his first domestic violence conviction. He was also charged with some other assaultive crimes in the past.
With misseizure.
Two men, the same courtroom, the same afternoon in a small Michigan town. Bailey Cunningham stood before the judge at a domestic violence sentencing and said something nobody in that room expected. He said that for the last year, maybe two, he had been suicidal. He said he almost made a permanent decision for a temporary problem. He described being court-ordered to an inpatient psychiatric facility and calling it the best thing that had happened to him in a very long time. He talked about looking in a mirror and finally recognizing the person looking back. The judge listened. And then with the prosecutor's consent, granted him a deferral, meaning if he completes probation and anger management without incident, this conviction will not follow him as a public record. Aaron McDaniel spent his 40th birthday in jail. He had been homeless when the incident with his on-again, off-again partner occurred in August. He told the judge she had pepper sprayed him. He told the judge he picked up a bike and threw it at her in anger. He told the judge she went to the hospital. He said he doesn't drink, hasn't in a while, and wants to get to Three Rivers, live with his grandmother, and start at Precision Wire. The judge gave him credit for time served, 2 additional days, and a firm piece of advice: I don't want you living on the railroad track. Neither of these cases ended with a long prison sentence. Both ended with something harder, the responsibility to actually change. Whether they do is the question none of us can answer from this side of the bench. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.